Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So we are on topic 4, which is our cutoff proposal. Well, why do we have all of these? I guess it's good to have all the options, but where is the actual proposal we worked on? This is not correct. We need the actual proposal that we worked on. In the timeline that you remember, Alberto?
Yeah, we had a final proposal. Yeah, we already no, but we never prioritized the options. We never did the proposal. Did we do the proposal? The final
Yeah,
proposal?
but we need both. It's fine to go through this again, but we need the actual cutoff proposal, which is option 3 that we did. Remember?
Yes, yes, yes. I remember.
Time to pause.
5-second pause. So why don't we just make that topic 5? So if you can put that final proposal in topic 5, then we'll call topic 4 cutoff options. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's just make sure everybody is voted here. So we have the 4 options.
Jim,
Actually, no, there's 6 options. What? Did I hear something?
yeah, may I vote on those options?
Yes, everybody can vote. There has been a lot of discussion and dialogue about them, but let's add a section for Mamoon. But I think it looks like everybody else besides Mamoon has voted. Has anyone else not voted?
I don't know. I mean, these votes we should have. The idea was to review them anyways. I mean, we left 1 week before finalizing the options. Right? The options we never actually finalized them. Last week we said, all right, let's see. We're gonna wait 1 more week, and then we decide.
No, last week we said that we were going to prioritize them. We prioritized them. And then this week we said we were going to start working with the priorities based on the vote, which was to get a more detailed final proposal. That makes sense? So, which is why when we
To
have
me,
discussion,
like I feel like I'm crazy because I think I heard Alberto and you just say the same thing. You know, like we have 1 more week to finalize everything, kind of. But I think
Yeah,
you guys are.
we didn't get to a. Exactly. From what I remember, we didn't. I mean, we voted. I mean, everybody voted. I mean, but we said let's leave another week before we finalize the option prioritization, and we go into the actual proposals. From what I remember.
So then, what's the difference from what you're saying, Jay? Because I'm not really seeing the difference. Like it is one
Because
more week, right?
these are the options. Yeah, these are the options, right? So we wanna. Then we would vote on each option separately. I mean, starting with the one with the highest vote.
okay, so what I remember is that last time we checked this vote, option 3 had a higher ranking, right? So the question is, what are you copying and pasting? Because I feel like you're skipping the notes of the last session that we had, Alberto, and you're not copying and
I
pasting
copied
the last session that we had with Joyce. Joyce changed her vote. We did a whole agreement on that.
Time
and now
for
it's different.
That's what I'm missing. Yeah, I think that's what I'm
time
missing.
for
So let's take a breath. So inhale and exhaling, and inhale together, and exhale, relax. All right, so I think the problem is that Alberto just is skipping an entire session where we worked on this and updated everything in detail and then created an entire final vote and everything like that. And none of
No,
that is
these are the notes from the last session. Yeah, from the
It could
last
have
main
been me
session.
too, because like I
No, but
remember
that's not
you
what I'm talking
telling
about.
me that
Not the
you
last
guys
main
worked on a third option too, and then I wasn't in that
No,
session,
no,
right?
it's not. It's option 3. I don't know if you were there, but Joyce, I think it was just me and Joyce and Alberto.
Yeah, I'm getting those notes.
Okay.
I'm opening them now.
Please get those notes because this is just creating confusion and chaos.
Yeah, please, if you can delete everything there, I can get the.
I'm just gonna leave it here. And then we can go into topic 5. Okay. So
Yeah.
topic 5 is going to be the new one. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
There is also. You want me to copy everything, Jay? Also the timeline that we did.
Yes, that's the whole point, is to go over the time lever, but you could put that in topic 6. So let's do it separately, since I would just skip all of that, but it's fine. So let's go through topic 5 is just the cutoff options, and then topic 6 is going to be the final proposal. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense? So you can
Yep.
put the timeline and everything in topic 6, and we'll get to that. All right, so now we need to completely redo this, and Mamoon needs to vote all over again. Okay, Mamoon,
All right,
do you
so
understand? Mamoon?
topic 6, we just want option 3 with the timeline for option 3.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Let's get through topic 5 first. So, Mamoon, we're gonna need to add you again and get all this stuff voted on. So in this one for option 3, Joyce's, yeah, exactly. Joyce changed her vote. Other people changed their vote. Okay, so I think I'm ready to do a review. Are you guys all ready? Are there any other questions before we go into a review?
No, this is okay.
No, go for it.
Okay, so basically my understanding of what happened is the following. At the last main session, we discussed the 4 options. During the main session, there was a lot of interest in option 2. After the main session, well, no, during the beginning of the main session, there was a lot of interest in option 2. As the discussion continued,
Time for pause.
all right, 5-second pause. As the discussion continued and most of the people left, I think it was me, Alberto, and Mel, were there like 6 hours in, and we started talking about SVG and a new client. And we understood that there was no way we could really move forward with a new client without including life support, and specifically org support. And
Exactly.
so we basically went from option 2 to being like, we really have no choice but to do option 3. And so with option 3, we changed our votes, and instead of prioritizing option 2, we started prioritizing option 3. Then me and Alberto and Joyce met a couple days later to prepare for this main session. And so we were organizing all the notes, we were going through it, we were explaining to Joyce what happened. Joyce changed her vote. Option number 3 clearly was the priority outcome based on the votes. And then we built and spent about half an hour to an hour, maybe longer, on building up the option 3 final proposal in detail with a detailed 3-month timeline. So that is where we are currently. So the next step now is to let Mamoon vote, to verify the outcomes of the vote. So for example, option number 1, it's very clear that it does not pass, right? This is a big no.
Yeah.
So we can make sure that's clear, that's a red. Option number 2 would be barely passing. So that would be a yellow, right? Barely passes. Option number 3 does pass and is green with a willing consensus, 7.28. Option number 4 barely passes, but technically does pass with a 6.5. Option number 5 does not pass. It does look like it does not pass. Does not pass. So that's red. Option number 6 also does not pass. Okay, so is there any questions on the current status of the voting or the summary that I made and where we are now? Which is basically that option number 3 currently has the most support. No questions?
Nope.
No
Okay,
question.
so basically what I would propose here is that we move on to the next topic, which is topic 6, where we're going to zoom into option number 3 and make option number 3 what we call like our final cutoff proposal. And then we would have an open discussion on it, and we may vote on it today. We may not be prepared to finalize the vote, and we can wait till next week. But the idea is just to start the discussion. And we'll see where it
Time
goes.
to stretch.
All right, so let's take a quick 30-second stretch, and then we'll go with the topic. We'll have a discussion. We'll present the proposal, and then we'll have a discussion on it. So 30-second stretch. All right.
Okay.
So topic 6. So option number 3 is the Umbrella Showcase website with social value group, sponsor program, and including CCC, and the Life Support Alliance, including org support, all under the Umbrella Showcase website. So the timeline on this was an issue. It's 3 to 3.5 months. So the timeline that we worked out is a little bit shorter on the 3-month side, so you can see what a 3-month timeline would look like. We're talking about 2 to 3 work sessions per week. Obviously, the timeline could be faster. We increase the number of work sessions, etc. And the total budget is going to be about $10,000 to $20,000. But we would have at least a couple months runway if we got behind schedules. The other problem besides the timeline is that the pipeline was not well organized. So in the details of the proposal, I would add in the pipeline. So basically the pipeline would be this: to prioritize the pipeline for all of our priority program projects that we are not moving forward with. So it would include a half to 1 session per week as one of our trajectories, and we make sure that we are organized and prepared for our pipeline after the launch. So basically, the Umbrella Showcase website, line 24, automatically included. We would include the social value group, the sponsor program, and support, and then this would be the cutoff. And so this would be the pipeline cutoff. And then after the launch, we would want to make sure our pipeline experience model is organized, the contributors co-op, the Umbrella fundraising campaign. I think we should consider adding the planetary sessions, right? So I'm proposing this one, and I would actually make a separate line here to make it clear that these first two are pretty much like for sure. And then the planetary sessions, I would be proposing this. Alberto is proposing this merchandising e-commerce site.
Yeah.
SIM Root Diverge, this is basically all of our
Time to
investment
pause.
and token models. 5-second pause. And then I would definitely be proposing that. I think everyone's seen the websites on those. And then the Institute for Educational Courses, I'm not proposing that. I don't think we should do that. Alberto, are you officially proposing that we should?
No, it's okay. No, we can take it away from the public.
So basically, we would have 6 things in the pipeline to go with the 4 things before the.
Can we, while we're doing who proposed it, can we just clarify 0 to 6? Who proposed that? And if it's team vote, then I would say Umbrella Showcase. That would be like team, right? Apparently, team. Yeah. And then everything else is team, right?
Well, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 0, 1, 2, and 3 are option 3.
Yeah, so then it's team vote. I mean, if you're doing like, everyone's proposing as a team, I just want to be clear that life support was a team vote, right? So the 1 to 3 was team, and then pipeline experience, that's also team, right?
Yeah, this is option 3, 13, 4, line 13, 14, and 15 is the cutoff options of option 3 that we all voted on. It passed with a 7.28.
Okay, so all those, and then 7 to 9 is basically like, Jay, you haven't formally proposed it, and then the team hasn't voted on it. Alberto, and the other one, yeah, you haven't. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
These are like brand. I mean, I've known about this. I've never heard of this, and then I've known about this too. And then I want to add David, who is very interested in that kind of stuff, but that's I've never heard of these yet. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the idea is that just having 3 things in the pipeline doesn't make a lot of sense because there's 4 sites, and so it's like, for me, if we just added a couple things to the pipeline, it would be clear what the pipeline is. We don't actually need to finalize the pipeline. The idea is that we just want to prioritize the pipeline for what's going to happen. That's all the
Okay.
proposal.
That's fine. Yeah.
So here are the link to the rest of the options in the pipeline. There's like hundreds of possible options that we could include community equity and all the other stuff. Pipeline details. Want to continue to prioritize and finalize the pipeline order. So again, the pipeline order and what exactly happens after the launch has not been decided yet. We would just want to continue that discussion. We would finalize the pipeline numbers. I don't know what numbers and priorities, I guess. We would make sure we have a clear process for finalizing the pipeline. So obviously the process for finalizing the pipeline is only somewhat started, but hasn't finalized, okay? So are there any questions on the pipeline details? Because then we're going to go on to our timeline. So line 46, currently 4 sessions
Time
per
for
week.
breath.
Okay, breath. You want to do it, Alberto?
Yeah, inhale, exhale, inhale all together, exhaling.
All right.
Cool.
So in terms of the timeline, it's good to note that currently in our schedule, we have 4 regularly scheduled sessions per week for the Umbrella Showcase website. So one of those sessions could be taken up by the Life Support Alliance main session, where we're trying to schedule the Life Support Alliance every week. We haven't scheduled that yet, but when we do, that's probably going to take up one of the sessions. So that leaves 3 additional sessions per week. So our timeline consists of the primary priorities. So on line 48, you have the primary priorities are on the left, and then that's 2 sessions per week. And then on the right side, you have the additional priorities, which kind of overlap with the primary priorities. So basically, currently our additional priority is the CCC website and the whole CCC sponsorship and everything, and the board recruitment and the budget, right? So that is kind of happening simultaneously with the primary priority for the Umbrella Showcase website, which would be to stop and focus on the pipeline process number 1 in the review of the entire social value group process and getting the whole update of exactly what happened with social value group and kind of documenting the whole experience. And we would do that. I don't think it's going to take 2 weeks, but we put 2 weeks in there just to make sure we have enough time. It probably would take 1 or 2 sessions, my thought. From there, and plus also we're technically in week 4 already. Basically, we're pretty much in the last week. So we don't really technically have 2 weeks left of February, March. So March, the first week of the March, April moon month starts when? Let's get a date for that. So we have some.
21st.
Okay, the 21st of what, March?
21st of March it starts.
Okay,
And
so the 21st of March would be the beginning of the next moon month. So that's like less than a week away, right? It's only like 6 days away,
28.
right? So,
Right.
so basically this is really just 1 week up here. I would just delete a whole week here because that's basically already passed. So then you have the Umbrella Showcase website identity. The overall understanding of what we are doing for the legal relationships for the Umbrella Showcase website. Obviously, we would continue to work on CCC at the same time. Then we would go, once we have clarity on kind of our overall SVG process, our overall identity for the Umbrella
Time to
Showcase.
pause.
5-second pause. So after we have our overall review of SVG, our overall identity and focus for Umbrella Showcase website, then we would go into finalizing the SVG website, also simultaneously with CCC. Then we would go into the sponsorship and the cooperativeship program and of all the sites that include CCC, but also includes all the other sponsorship websites. And then simultaneously, while we're doing that, we'd be launching the Life Support Alliance website and getting the life support program all set up. Then when we get into April, we would finalize the life support website and start focusing on the sponsorship cooperative program ecosystem sites. So kind of like switch around. And then by then, the idea is to have a final review of the Umbrella Showcase website in the beginning of the April-May moon month, so in about a month. Right? Then we have clarity and agreement on our core story as presented online. So basically the final components, final review, overall agreement on our story and presentation, getting the multimedia set up simultaneously, and then reviewing the entire website ecosystem of all links, all interconnections, the whole thing all together. And then we have the final agreement on the launch and the ads in the beginning of the May-June moon month, so mid-May. So that's the proposal for a 3-month timeline. It's very quick and very, very overarching. And that's the proposal for option 3.
Yeah.
So now we have open discussion. Let me just do a full round, make sure everyone gets a chance to speak. Who wants to start? Then we're going to take a break and we can continue after the break. So are there any questions on basically what we went through? So there's 3 parts. There's the option number 3, and includes the kind of review and what we voted on already. We have the addition of the clarity on the pipeline, of exactly how the pipeline works and what comes after the launch. And then we have a detailed 3-month timeline for the launch of the website, of the Umbrella Showcase website.
I need
I
some
have a
clarity.
question.
Yeah. Moon, you go first, or Moth. I'm sorry, who was
Yeah.
that?
Mamoon?
No, you can go first.
Moon. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. My question is, are we assigned the workers for these 3 months? Particularly, I mean, more specifically, that who is doing what? I mean, well, like
Yeah, well,
if
I mean, I think that's jumping ahead, Mamoon, because right now our goal, right, the goal of this topic is to get agreement to do this at all. Right, so right now we have a proposal. The proposal is to do this. If we agree to do this,
Time
then
to take a break.
we'll start on the management of who's doing what by when. Does that make sense?
okay,
So
makes
if
sense.
we agree to do this, then we go into
But
detail.
I like your question a lot, Mamoon, and thank you for clarifying. Jay's like, well, we're just seeing if we want to do this, right? But for me, I can't agree to this also because I'm like, well, who's doing this? Is Mamoon putting in 5 hours? Am I putting in 30 hours? Is Alberta putting in 100? Like, who? How is this going to get done? Because it's
Well, we're
hard to
spending
say that we want to do this without like for me, my comfort level is just something minimal like that Excel we're doing with the CCC recruitment round sheet that if you want to reference it, it's like the other tab, that level of just like, okay, this is what it would look like if it was done. Then I'd be like, yeah, I think I would totally be behind this. Okay, but go on.
Okay, well, it's time for a break. But the bottom line is that we're spending $10,000 to $20,000 to make this happen. So anyone's not
Yeah.
serious about doing whatever we want to do here, I mean, this work should get done, and people who don't want to do the work don't get paid, right? So I mean, in terms of who's going to do what, somebody needs to step up to do the work, and people are getting paid to do the work.
Well, one more thing before our next break is if it's $10 to $20,000 budget, we can do it in-house, right, internally, or we
Everything.
can maybe say, actually, maybe we can outsource this to another team and they can do it in 2 weeks. If our team doesn't have the equipped skill sets for 5,000, I'm just saying, like, this is assuming that this is in-house, but $10 to $20,000 just for and it's not just, it's a lot of work. So let's
Well,
take
this
our
$10,000
break
to
and I'm going to give it.
$20,000 budget also includes all of our
All the
taxes,
rest,
our
yeah, all
payroll,
of the rest of the work.
our organizational systems, all of our management, our tactical ops, like all of our internal operations, all of our other client work, all of our executive oversight, all of our government compliance. So it's everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
The overall budget for 1 month of the whole organization, we would spend a minimum of 4 sessions per week on this, right? But then we have 12 sessions already regularly scheduled, plus we're scheduling at least another 2-3 extra sessions every week.
Yeah. But the reason why the budget is important to note is because the whole point of this launch is to bring in income, because otherwise everyone gets fired because we don't have any money left.
Right.
Right.
So,
So it's in the best interest of everybody to put as much work as possible.
yeah. So, anyways, let's go ahead and take a small break. Let's just do like 3 minutes again, and then we'll come back, and then we'll continue the discussion with Mel. You can start. Does that sound good? Let's keep in.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, quick 3-minute break, and then we will
Yeah.
continue the discussion.